Alfred Hitchcock spent 5 full days throwing live ravens and crows at his lead actress for a single sequence in the birds. The actress was told the mechanical birds had malfunctioned, but the truth was much more calculated. She endured hours of being pecked and scratched, while the cameras rolled to capture genuine, unsimulated fear. This was not just a scene, but a deliberate psychological test of endurance. By the end of the week, the actress suffered a complete nervous breakdown. This pattern of extreme perfectionism has defined some of the greatest works in cinema history. Greatness often demands a price that the crew and cast are forced to pay. Behind the lights and the glamour lie stories of exhaustion, financial ruin, and physical peril. We are peeling back the layers of 5 specific instances where the director's vision became a law unto itself. Prepare to see the raw reality behind the frames you know by heart. Cinema is often a war of attrition between the creator and the constraints of reality. Directors who refuse to compromise often find themselves standing on the edge of disaster. What begins as a creative spark can quickly turn into a grueling marathon of willpower. To understand these films, we must understand the pressure cooked inside these sets. The following accounts are documented facts of the hardships required for perfection. Our first deep dive takes us to the humid jungles of the Philippines during the late 1970s. Francis Ford Coppola's production of Apocalypse now was famously plagued by chaos that mirrored the film's theme. The director invested his own fortune and his physical health into the project. The primary actor's mental and physical health was pushed to the absolute limit. The line between the character's descent into madness and the actor's real state became dangerously thin. During the opening scene in the hotel room, the lead actor was truly intoxicated and spiraling. He punched a real mirror, severely cutting his hand, and continued the scene while bleeding profusely. Coppola kept the cameras rolling, capturing a moment of genuine agony that no script could replicate. This was not acting, but a documented moment of a man grappling with his internal demons. The production became a survival struggle that lasted much longer than originally planned. Later in production, the same actor suffered a near-fatal heart attack in the middle of the jungle. He had to crawl a considerable distance to find help while the crew remained miles away. Coppola reportedly downplayed the severity of the incident to keep the studio from shutting down the film. The director's obsession with the project meant that even life-threatening health issues were seen as obstacles to be managed. The final product is hailed as a masterpiece, but it nearly cost a life. Coppola himself lost over 100 pounds during the production and threatened to end his own life several times. He was convinced that the film would be a failure that would ruin his reputation and finances. The crew faced typhoons that destroyed expensive sets and local political unrest that threatened their safety. Every frame of the movie represents a victory over almost impossible odds. It is a testament to the brutal price of perfection in the heart of darkness. Next, we transition to a mystery that involves a director who refused to use special effects for a physical impossibility. Werner Herzog decided to move a 320-ton steamship over a steep mountain for his film, Fitzcarraldo. He rejected the idea of using miniatures or studio models because he believed the audience would sense the lack of reality. This decision turned a film production into a massive engineering feat in the middle of the Amazon. The risks involved were beyond anything ever attempted in narrative cinema. The local indigenous workers were tasked with pulling the massive ship up a 40-degree incline. Herzog's insistence on using real physics led to several accidents that left crew members injured. The tension on the set was so high that some cast members reportedly carried weapons for protection. Herzog himself seemed unfazed by the danger, focused solely on the visual of the ship ascending the hill. He famously stated that his quest for the images was a challenge to the laws of nature. The project was delayed for years, as the first attempt at filming failed with a different cast. Herzog's lead actor, known for his volatile temper, frequently engaged in screaming matches with the director. At one point, the local chief supposedly offered to kill the lead actor for Herzog because of his behavior. Herzog declined, but the story illustrates the extreme hostility that permeated the jungle set. The ship eventually made it over the mountain, but at an immense emotional and physical cost. Herzog believed that the struggle itself was part of the art, and that the audience could see the pain in the film. He viewed the difficulties not as problems, but as necessary components of a true masterpiece. To him, a film made without real risk was a film without a soul. This uncompromising philosophy remains one of the most debated topics in film theory. It forces us to ask if the end result truly justifies the suffering of those involved. But the third story on our list involves a different kind of perfectionism, one found in the digital age. David Fincher is known for his surgical precision and his demand for an incredible number of takes. On the set of Zodiac, this method pushed his actors to the brink of psychological exhaustion. One lead actor became so frustrated with the repetitive nature of the filming that he began to lose his focus. Fincher's goal was to drain the actors of their performance until only the raw truth remained. It was common for Fincher to require over 70 or 80 takes for a single, seemingly simple scene. The actors were required to hit precise marks and deliver lines with micro movements of their eyes. If a single detail was out of place, the entire take was scrapped, and the process started over. One actor famously stated that by take 90, you are no longer acting, you are just surviving. This level of control is rare even among the most demanding directors in Hollywood history. During one sequence, the director reportedly deleted a full day's work in front of the actors to make a point. He wanted them to understand that their time was secondary to the final image on the screen. The tension between the cast and the director was palpable, with some describing the set as a factory of repetition. The resulting film is praised for its haunting realism and obsession with detail. However, the human cost was a deep sense of alienation among the performers. Fincher's obsession extended to the visual effects, which were often invisible to the average viewer. He digitally added or removed entire buildings and altered the color of every frame to fit a specific palette. This digital perfectionism meant that the film was never truly finished until the last possible second. The actors' performances were literally reconstructed in the editing room, take by take. The result is a cold, calculated masterpiece that reflects the mind of its creator. Moving from the digital to the physical, we encounter the story of Michael Cimino and the downfall of a studio. His production of Heaven's Gate became a cautionary tale of unchecked ambition and perfectionism. Cimino would wait for hours for a specific cloud to pass over the sun before allowing a single shot. He ordered sets to be built, torn down, and rebuilt because the spacing between buildings was off by inches. This behavior ballooned the budget from $11 million to over $40 million. The director's demand for historical accuracy was so intense that he insisted on using authentic materials, regardless of cost. He would frequently shoot thousands of feet of film for moments that lasted only seconds on screen. The studio, United Artists, was pushed to the brink of bankruptcy by his refusal to compromise. Executives were sent to the set to regain control, but Cimino had complete contractual power. The production became a black hole that swallowed resources and careers. Upon release, the film was a critical and commercial failure that ended the era of director-driven Hollywood. Cimino's quest for a perfect epic resulted in a movie that few people wanted to see at the time. The studio never recovered and was eventually sold, changing the landscape of the industry forever. It serves as a stark reminder that perfectionism, when left unchecked, can destroy the very institutions that support art. The film has since been reassessed as a misunderstood masterpiece, but its legacy remains scarred. Our final topic brings us back to the psychological warfare of Stanley Kubrick on the set of The Shining. Kubrick was notorious for his treatment of Shelley Duvall, whom he isolated and pushed to constant tears. He believed that to portray a woman on the edge of a breakdown, the actress had to truly be on that edge. He ordered the crew to remain cold and distant from her throughout the months of filming. This environment was designed to create a genuine sense of panic and helplessness. The famous baseball bat scene was filmed an incredible 127 times, a Guinness World Record for a scene with dialogue. By the end of the day, Duvall's hands were raw, and her voice was gone from screaming. The stress was so severe that her hair actually began to fall out in clumps. Kubrick's method was to break the actor down until there was no resistance left to his direction. The performance is one of the most memorable in horror history, but it came with a heavy personal price. Kubrick also demanded that the script be changed daily, sometimes just minutes before a scene was shot. This kept the actors in a state of constant anxiety and prevented them from ever feeling comfortable with the material. He would film for 14 hours a day, 6 days a week, for over a year. The set became a prison of repetition and high-stakes pressure for everyone involved. The director's brilliance was undeniable, but his methods were often described as an emotional siege. The maze of the Overlook Hotel was not just a set, but a physical manifestation of the director's mind. Kubrick wanted the audience to feel trapped, just as his actors felt trapped during the production. Many of the crew members spoke about the experience as one of the most difficult of their professional lives. When you watch the film, the tension you feel is a direct result of that atmosphere. It is a haunting example of how art can be extracted through intense pressure. These stories serve as a reminder that the movies we love are born from intense and sometimes painful processes. The directors we have discussed are giants of the medium, but their legacies are complicated by their methods. Is it possible to achieve cinematic immortality without crossing these lines? Or is the very nature of genius inherently demanding and uncompromising? These are questions that cinema history will continue to grapple with for decades to come. We have looked at Hitchcock, Coppola, Herzog, Fincher, and Cimino. Each one pushed the boundaries of what is acceptable in the name of a higher artistic truth. Which of these directors' methods surprised you the most? Or do you think they went too far? Let us know in the comments below what you think about the cost of cinematic perfection. Your perspective helps us understand the complex relationship between the creator and the creation. Thank you for joining us on this journey behind the closed doors of cinema history. If you found these truths compelling, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Cinema Snippets. We will continue to uncover the raw and shocking stories that have shaped the world of film. Until next time, keep looking deeper into the frames of your favorite movies. This is Cinema Snippets signing off.